This is TWiT.
We got an email from Norm, who lives up in Seattle, who says, or down in Seattle, if you're Amber. I would imagine that you high-profile women, he calls us, have had some experiences with trolls. Different subject dealing with these nitwits, difficult subject rather, but I think a segment of how to handle this online, with this online menace might be very valuable. Now, Amber, I know that we don't necessarily need to get into our own, on our own soapboxes about this, but I did think that this was actually an interesting lead-in to a social story that's really been bothering me this week. Are you familiar with feminist frequency?
I am now.
Yeah.
And I can understand why it would bother you.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to make this as short a version as possible just to get everybody else up to speed. I was introduced to Feminist Frequency, which is a web series, a YouTube web series, because the woman who is the main host of the series she had done a video that was basically showing off how women in video games often not only are depicted in misogynistic ways, but don't actually contribute to a storyline itself. So it's not only that it is, demeaning, but that it almost doesn't even need to be there, which makes it, all the worse. And the host started to get like really bad death threats via Twitter, to the point where the person had said some terrible things, including that he knew where she lived and knew where her parents lived and, that sort of thing. And, she had to leave her home and get the police involved. And the whole thing just kind of, I just thought, wow. I mean, I have my share of issues from people who are unkind online, but nothing quite like that. However, it could happen to anybody at any time. It doesn't have to be women, abuse. And as Norm called it, people who are trolling. That is that's just a very simple way to explain a concept that is really, really complicated and often really, really scary. And I honestly urge all of you to Femfreak, FEMFREQ is her Twitter account. It's really interesting how she's sort of been dealing with this. And by the way, the videos are extremely good. Whether you're a gamer or not, she's really come from the right place, and she's got a lot of interesting things to say. But Amber, I guess what's your sort of overall sense of? Is this just more of the same? These people have to get reported, and hopefully they get their accounts taken away from them, or does something else need to be done?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the most important thing is to obviously support people like this who are getting out there and who are talking openly and, reporting accounts if there are trolls. I mean, I was watching some of her videos, and I have to say I had almost like a sick feeling in my stomach because it just, it's so uncomfortable. And what makes me so sad about this, and this isn't a social thing, it isn't a tech thing, is the fact that there are grown men and women who are making these video games and putting them out there. And I don't know how you sleep at night. I mean, it's pretty horrible. So we'll put some links in our show notes, and hopefully we have some reaction from people next week. And it's a horrible, horrible situation for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as people who are in front of a camera, it is sometimes really it's hard to deal with backlash or criticism or that sort of thing. Kind of comes with the territory. And being a woman does sort of put you in a whole different category. However, nothing like this is ever acceptable. And I guess to sort of answer your question, Norm, because again, this could be a whole series. It is an increasing issue to deal with trolls. And as long as anonymity is possible, then I don't think we can eradicate this kind of behavior. And I don't know what the solution is, but that's why I don't like services and apps like Secret, for example, because I just feel like it is too tempting for somebody to anonymously attack another person or a group of people, and in general, it just makes us all feel horrible. So, who wants that?